through. So what I would like you to do is on the next blank page, I just want you to draw this number line. This number line goes from 0 to 1. And it has been partitioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 spaces that this number line has been partitioned into. Go ahead and draw this number line 0 to 1 and partition it the same way I have, please. On my number line, I stuck a letter. Do letters go on number lines?
No.
So why is that letter there? There's a letter R on my number line. Why is it there? Numbers or letters don't normally go on number lines. Scarlett, why is that letter there? It is a spot saver. There is a number that will go where R is. In this case, it is going to be a fraction. We know it's a fraction because it's in between two whole numbers. It's in between 1 and it's in between 0. So it's going to be a smaller number than 1. How do I figure out what R is? I think I can figure out the numerator, because remember the numerator, that top digit, I just counted it up above. So I know that this is going to be 0 somethings, 1 somethings, 2 somethings, 3 somethings, 4 somethings, 5 somethings, and then 6 somethings. My numerator is very easy for me to figure out because I just count kind of like how I would normally count. But what about my denominator? What does my denominator tell me? Because that'll give you a good clue on how to figure out my denominator. Bryce, what does my denominator tell me? Does it tell me the whole number?
It tells you, like,
you're super close.
It tells you what, tells you how many spaces.
So close. Eliana, what does the denominator tell you?
The denominator tells you, how many spaces you are, like your whole.
Very, very close. Very, very close. Liam, what does my denominator tell me?
It tells me how many you have in all.
Super, super close. Miranda, what does my denominator tell me?
It tells you the number on the bottom.
It is the number on the bottom, but how do I know that? What is it? Arma, what do you think?
It's telling you like the jumps you made, like 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 6, 6. So it's just one call, so it's just making your bottom number the whole point.
You guys are all really close. This is the language that I want to hear. It is the parts in one whole. That is what a denominator tells you. It tells you how many parts in one whole. Tell your neighbor what the denominator tells you. Now, Annabella, when I'm counting my parts on a number line, do I count my tick marks? No. What do I count? What do I count? Bailey, what do I count? Okay, the holes, the spaces in between, Annabella. So I'm going to count this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many parts did I have in my whole number line? 6. So guess what my denominator is?
6.
6. So now I can fill in the bottom part of my fraction. So this first number is 0, 6. Okay, you can be red, that's fine. 1, 6. 2, 6. 3, 6. 4, 6. 5, 6. And then our one whole 6, 6. Make sure you have all the fractions labeled correctly. What fraction or what value is R? Now that we've numbered the number line, or labeled the number line, it should be pretty easy to figure out what the value of R is. Gavin?
R is 4, 6.
R is 4, 6.
It was a spot saver for 4.
It was a spot saver for 4, 6. Very good. All right, let's do another one. What is the value of S on this number line? This is 0 on the left-hand side. So again, we have another number line. This one also goes 0 to 1. But this number line is partitioned into 4 parts. Go ahead and draw your number line, draw the tick marks, label S, and then go ahead and figure out what is that value. Oh. You should have written your numerators. Those are pretty easy to label because it's just like regular counting. Denominator, that's where it gets a little tricky. What is my denominator on this number line? What is my denominator? Azalea?
4 because there's 4 equal parts inside the number line.
Inside one whole. Very good. So this number line is partitioned into fourths. So we have 0 fourths, 1 fourth, 2 fourths, 3 fourths, 4 fourths. Ethan, what is the value of S?
The value of S is 2 fourths.
Is 2 fourths. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Bonus question. I did all of this, I solved it, and then I look at my multiple choice answers. And I have A, 1/3, B, 1/2, C, 2/3, or D, 3/4. Hey! What I got for S is not any of those answers. Does that mean I did it wrong?
No.
So,
It is.
what is it going to be? Because I don't see 2/4 as an option.
Oh, wow.
You laugh. This is a question.
It gives it away.
Ryan, what do you think?
It's B and C.
It is not B and C.
Well, it's what the answer. Because a B is 1/2 and 2/4 is equal to 1/2. Because it's half and 4.
2/4 and 1/2 are equivalent. Remember, we talked about that word yesterday. So even though my fraction of 2/4 wasn't an answer choice on this bonus question, it kind of was.
Yeah, what actually was.
1/2, it's just a different version of 2/4.
The 1 is split in 2. 2 is split.
Yeah, those are the same values. So this answer is 1/2. This is a question you might see again on a very important
We are the COD.
end of grade test. Good thing.
There's no one.
All right, moving on. fractions going bigger than 1. So we know that fractions live in between all of our whole numbers. Yesterday we only focused on fractions between 0 and 1. And today we're going to keep going. So what I would like you to do in your notebook is I want you to draw a number line just like I have on the screen. This number line goes from 0 to 2. I have labeled number 1 in the middle because I know that there's a number 1 in between 0 and 2. And then I left some tick marks, some empty spaces in between 1 and in between 2. I need to figure out what are those fractions. I know they are fractions because that's what goes in between whole numbers. I just got to figure out what fraction it is. Does anyone have any ideas on how to figure that out? Come on. Any ideas on how to figure that out? Grace, what do you think? Okay, that's fine. Dominic, what are you thinking?
I was thinking, already got the answers.
Okay.
So, I know that 0 to 1 in the middle is 1/2.
Okay.
And you can do the same thing with 2.
Alright, so just because you just shot up both hands at the same time, I'm very curious what your thought is. Go for it.
You can count 1 as a half because 2 parts. And you can count, and once you have 1/2, also of course, you can count the middle spaces
So this is very tricky. Yeah, but please stop sprinkling that water bottle. This is very, very tricky, so please pay attention, Annabella. When we have fractions on a number line, Azalea, turn around, that go more than 1, we can't look at the whole number line. Because remember, our denominator only goes to the number of parts in 1 whole. How many holes do I have on that number line? How many holes do I have on that number line? Lucy? 2! Can I find the denominator in 2 holes?
Yeah.
No, I need to find it in 1 hole. So what I want you to do with your hand, probably your left hand, not your right hand, cover up 1 through 2. Because you only want to look at the number line that goes from 0 to 1. So use your hand, cover this side up. We're not going to look at that side. We know how to figure out from 0 to 1. That's easy peasy.
1/2.
Let's go ahead and figure that out. Put our numerators up. 0, 1, 2. Annabella, remember we figure out our denominator by counting our spaces, not our tick marks. How many spaces are there in that 1 hole? 2. So that's going to be my denominator. 0 halves, 1 half, 2 halves. Cool. That's easy peasy. But now lift your hand up. Because now we have the rest of our number line to deal with. Remember when we we learned how to skip count? Hang on, Ruth. Remember when we learned how to skip count? 2, 4, 6, 8. We're kind of skip counting now, but instead of skip counting by 2s or 5s, we're going to be skip counting by our denominator. We're going to be skip counting on this problem by halves. So here's 1 half. Here's 2 halves. What is that piece going to be worth? It's not as tricky as it looks. 1 half, 2 half, red half, blue half. Okay, look. 3 halves. That's all it is. That is all that is.
3 halves.
So what's our last space? 4 halves. That is literally 4 1/2 pieces. 4 1/2 pieces is equal to 2 wholes, not 4/4, 4 halves. No. Ethan, yeah.
There's like, I see like 4 spaces in each one, but first we had 2 when we covered up the 2 sides, so it actually kind of gave us the answer. Like if we covered up the second side, you would have got 2 from the 2 spaces for the denominator, and when you looked at all of the others, you can see the last one is supposed to be a 4.
Which part is supposed to be 4?
The numerator.
The numerator, good. What makes this tricky is you can only figure out the denominator from one whole. You cannot use the entire number line. You can only use one whole. Let's write that down because it's going to be something that you forget. I know. You can only use one whole to find the denominator. And I will get out of your way in just a second. Alright. How am I going to figure out the denominator? That's not very many hands. How am I going to figure out my denominator? Friendly, what do you think?
If you're going to cover up the second side,
I'm going to cover up. Where do I start covering up? Like here?
you start covering by the 1, and then you cover up the 2.
Friendly, why am I covering up this whole second half of my number line?
Because you can't work on both of the number lines at one time.
Yeah, I got to start with just one hole. Right now, my number line has 2 holes. I can't work with 2 holes yet. I got to figure out one hole first. Cover it up. Use your hand, cover it up. Now can I find the denominator?
Yes.
What is my denominator now that I'm only looking at one hole? No, I don't mean 1/2. I'm looking at one hole. 0 to 1 is one hole. Carla? 4. I have 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means I'm going to be counting by fourths. Let's go ahead and start labeling. Ready? 0, 4ths. 1, 4th. 2, 4th. fourths, 4 fourths.
We're not done.
We're not done. We gotta move our hand and do the rest of our number line.
Yes.
What's gonna come next? 0 fourths, 2 fourths, 3 fourths, 4 fourths. What's coming next, Brayden?
5 fourths.
5 fourths.
And 6 fourths.
And then what's coming next, Easton?
6 fourths.
What is it?
6 fourths.
6 fourths. Good. Miranda, what's coming next?
7 fourths.
7 fourths. Good. Bailey, what's last?
8 fourths.
8 fourths. Yes.
If you look on the left and the right side, we have bigger difference for the half tubes.
Okay. That's fine.
We did it.
So far, so good?
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense?
Yeah.
A little bit?
It makes it. Okay.
Let's look at this problem. So we have a number line. This number line goes from 0 to 2. You don't need to draw it in your notebook. You can just look at it. We're going to just talk about this one. The next one we're going to draw. So it goes from 0 to 2. There is a 1 whole marker in the middle. And then we see 8 spaces across the entire number line. Just press it down in the middle.
And 1A.
And then we have an A.
Spot symbol.
What is that A doing there? What is that A doing there? Annabelle, what's it doing there?
The spot symbol.
It's a spot saver. What's supposed to be there? Go ahead, Annabelle. A number. We just don't know what that number is. One number. 2 digits, 1 number. 12 digits, 1 number.
So, 2 digits, 1 number.
The word the, 3 letters, 1 word. See what I'm saying?
7 fourths.
2 digits, 1 number. Amir says that A is at 7/8. Is she correct? Amir says that A is at 7/8. Is she correct? I want you to turn and talk to someone at your table, and then we'll talk about it.
The space between 1 and 2
Yep.
because you could only figure out the denominator by looking at 1 whole and 1 whole only.
Say it a little louder for the friends in the back.
You can only figure out the denominator if you look only at 1 whole and 1 whole only. You can't look at both of the wholes.
Preach, friend. Yes. Cover it up. I saw a couple of you doing that with your eyeballs. You don't have a number line on your paper. We should cover it up.
Oh,
Come
that's
here.
number 1?
All right, we're covering up 1 hole. We're covering up the second hole. We're looking at 0 to 1, just 1 hole. How many spaces are from 0 to 1? Because that's the only thing we're worried about right now. How many spaces is that? Lizzie? 4. Guess what our denominator is?
4.
4. So 0 fourths. 1 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4. Cool.
I'm not done yet.
Now we can put our hand down, and now we can look at the rest of it. Am I going to change my denominator?
No.
Am I just going to start skip counting by something random? Annabella, pay attention.
No.
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 So what's my next tick mark going to be worth? What's coming next? Azalea, what's next?
5/4.
5/4. Scarlett, what's next?
6/4.
Grace, what's next?
7/4.
Miranda, what's next?
8/4.
No. Is she correct?
No. No.
She is not correct. Let me prove it to you another way. Get out your fraction kit. You're going to need to share a little bit, so don't get your pieces mixed up. Some of you are thinking 7/8 and 7/4 are equal. Let's go ahead and see if that is true. I want you to pull out 7 1/8 pieces and put them on your desk. Just 7 1/8 pieces. That's all you need. So I've gone ahead and drawn my 7 1/8 pieces, which everybody should have 7 1/8 pieces. That should be easy. And then you should have gotten 1/4 pieces and 7 of them because we're making 7/4. You should have something that looks like this. Now that we're looking at our pieces, are 7/8 and 7/4 equal? No way, Jose. 1/4 pieces were way larger than 1/8 pieces. So 7/4 and 7/8, those are not equal. They have part of the same digit, but they are not the same number. Yes, ma'am.
I just noticed that 1/8 is half of 1/4.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. All right, go ahead and put your pieces away. Make sure that if you borrow somebody, they get their pieces and you have your pieces.